Oh, and by the way, before I forget, not that I forget, but just a little heads up, I may have done something maybe quite interesting yesterday. That was quite the event, you could say, maybe. I went to just a little thing, you know, it's not that big of a deal. It's kind of a little event called, I don't know, I think it's called, what is it called? I think it's called Comic Con? I don't know. I don't know these things, but I think it's called Comic Con, which you have people there with things that they sell, and they have toys and games and figures and collectibles, and you have also writers for comics, whatever those are called. In all seriousness, though, yeah, I was, my thing was that originally I was gonna go, and then I think a few days prior to me going, I wasn't gonna go because my intention was like, oh, this would be a really great idea, this would be perfect, you know, it's very fitting around September. It was from September 16th to the 17th. It's like a few days before my birthday, like an early birthday event for me to do, you know, something cool. And then I think like this past Wednesday or Thursday, I was like, no, I don't really feel like going, because I had like, not what's the word? I had like a bit of skepticism and a little like I wasn't pessimistic, but I was just kind of like a little pessimistic and kind of thinking, okay, it might not work, it might not happen, and plus I maybe shouldn't do this. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just go. And I think I decided the day before, I was like, you know what? I'll just see if I'll go. I might consider it. My folks were kind of a little offering of it because I didn't think they were gonna actually consider it. Nothing against my parents, but I don't really see them wanting to. I don't see them really wanting to do Comic Cons a lot. And I don't know. My mom's not crazy about these things, and she's like, what? Like, she's kind of like lost when it comes to these things because she don't know a lot with comics and all these other things. Like, she thinks Star Wars is confusing. And I'm like, that's not confusing. The MCU, if anything, would be more confusing, but whatever. She was like, okay, we're willing to take you. We'll pay for it and everything. Make this like, we'll consider it like your birthday gift kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I went, and I was like, you know what, this is actually kind of really cool. This is going to be really interesting. And I got to maybe say, let's say I might have got to meet a few people, let's just say. Damn it, where is this thing? I took her last year. Last year we went to Tampa Bay. This year I went to Ocala. I mean, yesterday I went to Ocala, I should say. Last year Belle and I went to go. Last year it was her and I and her dad. The reason why her dad wanted to come was because, number one, it kind of was it was fitting and convenient, so that way Belle didn't have to do all the driving, number one. And number two, her dad comes, I think at this point he's come to a liking of me. I think he likes me. I'm pretty sure he does. I tease and I joke, but I have a feeling he does like me in a way. It's just when we were dating, just the way he, like, the Belle would tell me like how he would act, like whenever she would go, oh, Andrew and I are going out to see a movie, or we're going here, or we're going there, her dad would be like, oh, why don't you guys invite me to things? I would like to spend time with Andrew, you know? And this whole, like, this whole attitude, not like a bad attitude, but I'm just saying that the way, like, she, like, conveys the whole conversation between her and her dad, it's hysterical. So I was like, okay, so I mean, it's funny. He's like, oh, I would like to be invited to some of this stuff too, you know, get to know the guy and have fun and all these other things and stuff. And he's oh my gosh, the games he's got is insane. And not even that, he's crazy into things like, oh, what's it called? Not Gundam. I always forget this every freaking time. Messenger V. Messenger V or Messenger Z. That's what it is. He always likes that, and I actually have one. I'm looking at it right now. And I remember I even said to him, I was like, this is a Gundam, right? He's like, no, that's Messenger V or Messenger Z. I'm like, oh, I'm like, okay. So he knows, like, he knows his shtick. He knows his stuff a little bit with old nostalgic things and other stuff. He will randomly just say, meanwhile, in the Hall of Justice and random shit. So, like, sometimes, like, I shake my head with him, but he cracks me up a little bit. He's cool. He has his moments. But No, honestly, he's good. He's a good guy.
None of them like me.
But
Can't let 'em kill
so
each other.
we all three of us went to a Tampa Bay Comic Con last year, and then that was holy shit. That was when we met. We didn't meet. Actually, let me rephrase that. We didn't get to meet, but we saw Charles Martinet, and we saw Jason David Frank, and all that stuff. I have no idea what's going on here, but let's punch some thuggies and fight crime, and let's talk Marvel and talk comic stuff while punching crime in the face. So we technically went last year. She didn't want to go this year for many reasons, which that was understandable because one, she worked. Two, well yeah, one, she worked, she had to work, and two, well actually that's the ironic thing, which originally she was going to work, but still the point is that usually weekends she works. And so that's number one. Number two is that I don't blame her for this, is that she didn't want to do the driving, which I'm like, okay, that's very reasonable. I'm not gonna expect her to drive and do all this stuff all the time, so she didn't want to go to drive, and also she was like, this might be a little expensive. And that's why I was kind of reconsidering not going, was that it might be expensive, it might not be worth it. So I'm like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't go. So I thought about not going, but then my folks were like, we'll just take you, we don't mind driving, and all this other stuff, and all that jazz. So I'm like, okay, fine. So, but we're not gonna do it like every year sort of thing. That's the thing I need to do and say, is that I need a phrase, is that we're not gonna do it every year. This is not gonna be a yearly thing. Maybe occasional. And if Bella wants to on occasional, then fine. Like maybe like after a good couple of years, like after maybe we're married and all these other things or whatever stuff we got situated, we can go, okay. Or maybe before, maybe after that we can go, okay, we'll go to one. So we'll see. But yeah, I wound up going yesterday. It was really cool. It was really cool. Obviously I'm not going to compare both events, but both times I went, it's two different cons, it's two different conventions, it's two different locations, and two different experiences, and both were excellent experiences, and I loved each one. So so don't make me go, oh, which one was better? There's no better one. Both were excellent, both were great, and both had very great experiences and all that stuff. So I felt really grateful that I got to meet some people, which was really cool. And I got to meet two specific guys. I still kind of can't believe it happened, but it happened. I felt like not I accomplished something, but it just felt good. It felt good. It felt nice. It just felt really cool to meet people, you know, and actually get to talk with one of the actors and one of the like celebrities they have there.
Our APC is under attack by demons.
I got to meet two guys. I got to take a photo with a guy, and another guy I just got to have a really cool conversation with. And let's just say one was strong, very strong with the Force, and the other guy has I don't know if you guys know him, but he's got some friends on the other side. I honestly wish. One of these days I'd love to meet Mark. I wish it was him, but no, it wasn't Mark. What is going on? Oh, there's another thing happening too? Jesus. I think this might be... Actually, you know what? I can't say this is worse than Gotham City, because Gotham City has it bad. And I mean, it has it bad. I mean, it wasn't Mark, but he definitely was strong with the Force. Very strong with the Force. Tim Drake. I don't think I met Tim Drake. Although, I will say this, Ryan Potter was there. Ryan Potter was there, so Beast Boy from Titans, and Hiro Hamada from Big Hero 6, and I think that's all I know him from. But Ryan Potter was there. Cameron Monaghan was there. I didn't get to meet Cameron, but I kind of snapped a picture while he was kind of sitting there, and then everyone was in line for him. But he charged a lot more for pictures and autographs than everyone else. Maybe I might have. Maybe I might have gotten to have a little chat with the Shadow Man himself, with the Hellspawn. And where's the robbery at? But yeah, Cameron was there. He charged a lot more for pictures and autographs and stuff like that than everyone else, because majority of people that were there charged for selfies were 40. He charged, I think, 50 or 60. Autographs were 60 something. I think Cameron charged maybe 10 more. I don't remember. I don't remember the prices. I don't remember all the prices. I just remember in advance. I was like, holy shit. I was like, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, we're talking about Cal Kestis here, but I thought it was interesting that he was the big highlight, the big head attraction. That's it for everything. And I think the crime thing ended. I have no idea. Sabine was there. The voice actress who was Sabine, I almost forgot she was there. Someone from Walking Dead was there. I don't really know her, number one. Number two, I don't really follow a lot of Walking Dead. She was she was a young actress. Or at least younger. But yeah, I didn't get a picture with Keith, but I got to meet him, which was really awesome. That was just something too. And it's cool too, because the fact of which this makes sense is the people that are surrounded by these actors, like the attendees, security, and all this sort of stuff, are like, yeah, of course you can go ahead and talk with these people, you know? They're not gonna be like, oh, you can't talk to this guy, he's busy, you know? They're not gonna shoot down the fact if you want to just say hi. And because this one woman went up to me when there was no one. By the time I got to everybody, Keith had no one in line for him. So I was like, oh, I really wanted a picture, but I was like, no, I'll maybe just go say hi to him, which I didn't think was possible. But when I was in line for the other person I was waiting for, they were like, oh yeah, that's fine. We just wanted to make sure. And even when I went up to Keith David, the woman was like, so what you here for? And I'm like, oh, I just want to say hi to him. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. That's cool. And I just wanted to make sure that's what you're up to, because obviously you have like attendees and all these other people that got basically, number one, interact with the guests. Number two, they take the whatever money they are giving, because it's cash. So you either you do autograph, you do a selfie, you do a bundle, whatever it is, and that. They're the ones that handle the money. Basically, they handle the money and they go, okay, here's how much you have from today, and here's how much you have from within the hour, and so forth. So they handle the money, they hold on to the money, all that stuff, and they make sure the celebrity is also okay. Like if they feel a little uncomfortable, hey, so and so will be right back, he's gonna go use the bathroom, or hey, so and so will do this. It's like a cast member at Disney. Like they're going, all right, people, we're gonna be back in like 10 minutes or so. You know, something like that ordeal. So the woman was like, "Oh yeah, we just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure that's what you're up to." And plus, you know, some people could get a little I don't know, a little too crazy. And where is this stinky backpack? Ooh, a plushie. Also, Brandon, I never got to meet Kevin Conroy, and unfortunately, I won't. So it is what it is, sort of thing.
Much respect, Spidey.
Ah, that's cool. I like that. That was fun. That's a mission. Oh wait, Hell's Kitchen? Let's go visit Hell's Kitchen. I don't know if they'll ever do this. I have no idea what's gonna be releasing in terms of video games from Marvel and Disney, but I think a Daredevil game would be kind of cool. And I feel like some of you have probably given up on who I might have saw that I actually got a picture with, but it is we've talked about him before, but it is none other than Sam Witwer, which I was super stoked that I actually got to do. It was cool. And I say that very subtle, but in all honesty, the fact that I was waiting in line for him, it wasn't that big of a line, but the fact that I was getting closer to meeting him, I was like, this is so awesome. I was like, this dude is not a Star Wars icon, but he's he's iconic to me. I think he's iconic, but that's just me because I think he's just underrated. He's underappreciated with his voice, and I know he's just done Star Wars stuff, but still, the amount of Star Wars stuff he does is incredible. Number one, his other things that he does is pretty good too, but obviously the best stuff that is what makes him who he is, and what I love about him is Star Wars.
Looks military grade. Weird.
Looks Amish. Actually, just realized.
Spiderman.
Oh!
Points.
Who is this?
Wrong question. The correct one is, can you stop the bombs I've planted?
All honesty, with meeting both Sam Witwer and Keith David was they felt very humble. It felt very humble. It felt very genuine, and I thought that was really great because with Sam, it's like it makes sense because he's a fan. He's a fan of Star Wars. Of course, he kind of would be not on the he's not on the same level as me, but you know, like the knowledge he has, the fact that the appreciation he has for Star Wars and everything, he comes across as obviously he's got that. This is the energy I felt from him. Was it's like the fact of yes, this is a celebrity. This is the person that's like very famous, but yet he's got that status of like it's very grounded and that I like it just felt natural when I just started talking to him because I was like, oh, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? And everything. And then I went into asking, I was like, hey, before we get this picture in, I just want to say how awesome you are. You're very underrated. And I asked him a few things. He kind of clarified a few answers, which I was like, okay. I was like, that makes sense. So I thought that was really cool, especially when I asked, what else do you see yourself doing? Like, is there any, like, a role you would want to do? Kind of I was leaning towards. And he said, I don't really think that way. That might make me feel, that might seem selfish on my part to think, oh, this would be cool to do. This would be kind of cool to do. It's just more of basically whatever someone, I'm paraphrasing what he said, but someone approaches him about it or approaches me about it, then yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Just thought with your talent it'd be kind of cool, you know, maybe something like, I don't know, Batman. Like, it's kind of like leaning towards like kind of saying that a little bit because honestly, I think genuinely, and it's not just because of after meeting him, but just the fact genuinely, I think he could be a good Batman.